Hi, my name is Alexandria Lloyd. I am a senior consulting team member here at ACE Travels for the last 7 years. And as you know, as our modern world has advanced and evolved within the last couple decades, the world is changing and so are companies. They need to evolve and adapt to better techniques to better communicate with their team members and as well as new clientele that comes in every day on a daily basis. Today, I'm going to show you and go through more detail of how to better communicate and understand how the world works today. Here at ACE Travels, our primary goals is to analyze, guide, and mentor our organizations, departments, and companies to better communicate with their future clients as well as their team members. With communication, you can best increase production and within the workplace, decrease miscommunication between team members, and as well increase positive morale within the environment. Now that you have a better understanding behind our background and how we became the greatest consulting company in the country, I'll go into more detail about how it's a necessity in the workplace. Communication within the company, department, or organization is very important for the near future. Having ACE Travels in the corner, mentoring, guiding, and helping you analyze the situation on how to better produce and to help attend to your clients and your team members can help it create innovative ideas within the workplace, aid in decision making that usually is stalled or never fully made up with in like a team meeting or during conferences, and to also just boost morale overall. When your team members are having a positive and happy light within themselves, your clients and your patients and your community feels it as well, which better helps to advance in the near future.
Thank you, Alexandra, for that introduction. Ace Travels, we're here to serve you since 1962. Our founder, Adam Casey Everman, he founded the company back in 1962, and it is American dream. He found the company, and he wants others to find their dream like he found his. I want to tell you why you should choose Ace. Everyone wanted to make it possible for everybody to travel, and he wanted to build a trustful clientele, the relationships of our customers. Our company will let you travel and help you learn communications. That's why you need to travel with Ace Travels. Been in business since 1962. Travel with Ace. Next, Alexandra will discuss our company's statements of need.
Communication is the key to building and maintaining strong relationships between your staff and your members and also potential members. Our staff here at ACE Travel, we have analyzed your internal and external communications and come up with a few recommendations, which we'll go over in just a second. First, I want to introduce myself. My name is Ashley Akins. I am a senior consultant here, and I've been here for 5 years. I graduated with my degree in business communications from the University of West Georgia. First, let's go over your current internal communications. There's a couple of things that you're using already, social media, email, and face-to-face meetings, which are all great things. For social media, that's probably what you use most. And that's great for things like general announcements and updates and getting feedback from your members. The only problem with that is if you have an urgent message that needs to go out, then it's hard to get that message out in a timely manner. So for things that are urgent, we would recommend that you use email or text or something like that instead. Email is also a great tool to use for internal communications. It's very cost effective and it's convenient. Now, students do have a problem with only checking their emails 2 or 3 times per day, unless they have those notifications set where they get notifications whenever they receive a new email. So sometimes if it's a really urgent message, you may want to consider using a group text or something like that as well, where students are more likely to check those in a timely manner. Face-to-face meetings are always the preferred method of communication. You have body language, your tone of voice that you can't get from an email or a text or a post on Facebook. The only con with face-to-face meetings would be that they are timely and they're not cost-effective. So if it's not feasible for you to meet face-to-face and it's a really important message that you need to get out, you can also consider doing something like Google Hangouts, where you can still have that face-to-face meeting, but you can do it from the convenience of your own home and whenever is convenient for you. On this slide, we can talk about the comparative analysis with another group on campus called the University of West Georgia International Student Club. We've identified this group as a competitor to your organization. They have the same target audience and may have some members that may want to be involved in your organization as well. We took an analysis of their current internal communications. Their most used internal communication is social media. We do not recommend this because it's harder to get the urgent messages out and in a timely manner. What they do have that we would like to implement with your organization is an effective website. They have a website where you can get their contact information, how to become a member, and that kind of thing. And we think that would be a great addition to your already great communications. Next, let's talk about your current external communications. This is very important because this is how you get your exposure to potential new members. You use social media in a great way. You post your updates on upcoming events and create polls so that you can get feedback on what your members and potential members would like to see. But the numbers of your followers are pretty low. So what we want to do is we want to set a goal to increase the number of followers. You can do that by doing giveaways and contests and having people share your page and really get your name out. This is your biggest form of external communications right now, and we'd like to shift a little bit of the focus over to the others like events and advertising. You also are hosting some great events, but you did indicate to us that there are some low attendance numbers. So another goal that we want to set for you is to increase that attendance. One of the things you could do is host events on campus and during normal hours. That way students are already there. They don't have to worry about coming to another location, and they can ask you questions about your organization, and you can also raise some money while you're at it. The next thing is advertising. You do currently post flyers on campus, but a poll that we conducted of students say that they're not seeing those flyers. So what we want to do is set a goal to increase exposure by effective advertising. And so we will work with you to do eye-catching flyers and put them in places where people are going to see them. And then also maybe do some other advertisement, such as sending emails out to current students and that kind of thing. On this slide, we have a SWOT analysis. So what that is identifying your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to your external communications. So your strengths, let's talk about those first. We've already mentioned those previously. That's your Facebook posts, your polls, your member events. You're doing a great job with those, so we definitely want you to keep that up. We're just going to add some modifications to really increase those numbers and make it a little bit more effective. Next, let's talk about your weaknesses. So one of the biggest things is your membership. Your membership is very low, which also creates low funding and low exposure. So the biggest thing that we want to do is increase that exposure and increase your membership numbers. And when you do that, you'll increase funding and just increase your exposure on campus and get more people involved. The next thing are your opportunities. So you have some great opportunities coming up with social media. It's such a big platform and you can reach so many people. So we really want to use that to your advantage. But again, we want to shift a little bit of that focus over to the other areas, events and advertising. So doing those fundraising events and getting out and talking to people on campus will really increase your exposure, and then the advertising as well. Your biggest threat right now are competing groups. So we talked about the International Student Club, which kind of has your same target audience. And so what we would recommend you do is actually maybe even form an alliance with that group, because you may have some members that are in that group that would actually, like to do a mutual membership and be involved with your group as well. They may have some of those same interests, so you can think about hosting an event with them, an alliance with them. That way you're getting all their members exposure to them, and also you would be increasing your funding as well. So all in all, Voyageurs is doing a great job at communicating, but there's just a few modifications that we'd like to see you implement, and we really think that you can become more efficient and increase your membership numbers. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Michael Pitts, and he's going to be talking to you about some of our recommendations.